Hi there, welcome to I Lone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Sagittarius energy, and for this round of 12 zodiac sign readings, we're going to use this 10 card spread, and we're going to look at it from a couple different perspectives because not everybody harnesses high vibe Sagittarius energy, and people will be moving forward in this energy and making decisions in their life depending on the type of Sagittarius energy they harness, because life's about learning lessons, and some people are very mature and stable and grounded and inspired by love, and some other people aren't there yet, and some people are more motivated and inspired by themselves, are more motivated and inspired by indulging themselves or making their life more about money and materialism and status and image at the expense of love. So we all tap into Sagittarius energy about what drives and motivates us. So listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story. Listen to your intuition about other people in your life. I'm also going to get a Mystic Souls Positive Personality Oracle. Two of them aren't showing themselves. Stable and open. So the way I interpret that is everybody can view other people in the world just like themselves. There's some people in the world that aren't very stable and aren't very open, and they could think that you're on the same page as them, but you are stable and open. It's just that some people think you could be more immature than you are, or caught up in these things of the world. The overarching reason for the reading is the Four of Cups. Some people might think that you're sad, or that they can emotionally manipulate you. We can all kind of be sad about some relationships in our life, but high vibe people have taken that cup of love. They've learned to offer love to their fears and their insecurities so that their more worldly nature doesn't manipulate them, like their lust and their greed and their pride and their ego. But some people don't know that. They just think, oh, look, that person's maybe not in a relationship if you're single, or that person's sad about something. Maybe I can manipulate them, get them to indulge me in a relationship. And some of those people will find out they were mistaken. So we have the Death card, the Chariot, and the Four of Wands. So the Death card can mean that something happened in your life, some type of ending. If that was a job, a friendship, a romantic relationship. But high vibe people got in the driver's seat of their life from love. And in the Four of Wands, they were inspired to probably do this work within themselves. Initially, we can go through an ending and we're sad, but high vibe people love themselves. And the Four of Wands is Aries energy, which is about the self. So kind of getting in the driver's seat of your life. The Chariot card is Cancer energy, about love and home and family and self-love. You didn't let maybe other people being hurtful and unkind. Maybe some people you had love for did something hurtful or unkind or selfish or bossy or controlling or abusive, or went and got in a relationship with someone else. Well, you saw the truth of it and you kept loving yourself. And then the way I would interpret these cards is that some people were even hoping it would destabilize you, that you wouldn't love and believe in yourself anymore, and you'd quit moving forward loving and believing in yourself. And I think you initially could have kind of harnessed some of these energies in a shadowy way, but you did the work to transform it. That's what the Death card's about, transforming the energy. And now I think what some people don't know about you, they could see you moving forward very emotionally balanced and seem to be in loving energy and facing your fears. They might not understand how you're doing it. Sometimes some shadowy people, it's all about trying to create an illusion in the world. Like, look how wonderful my life is. Oh, look, I moved on. Oh, look how happy I am. Look at all this stuff, right? And you might not, you're just living your life. And some people could just think you're putting on a better illusion than they are. It's just like you're not creating an illusion. So let's go look at these three cards. The Six of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. Initially, it could, if something ended, it could have been difficult because the Six of Swords talks about in Aquarius energy, you had a dream that you wanted to have come into reality. And there could have been people in your life that in the Knight of Cups that you loved, that you wanted to have move forward with you in a foundation, in a friendship group, in a family group, in a workplace group, whatever it was. And you thought everyone was kind of maybe more independent of their more immature nature, shadowy nature, selfish nature. And then you realize that people hadn't taken that cup of love to like that higher cup of love to love themselves and maybe have hope and faith and belief in themselves, to love themselves, to be more independent in the world. Because some people are really codependent on the world, and the devil can kind of represent those things of the world. I love the world. I define my worth and value by what I wear and what I drive and how much money I have, and that's the most important thing in my life. And, they don't define their own worth and value. And so it could be you realize that you look at life differently, and how you wanted to move forward in life was different, and what your end goal was and what drives and motivates you is different. And so you had to do that work within yourself to let go of people who harnessed, you came to realize, some more shadowy Aquarius, shadowy Pisces, shadowy Virgo, because their long-term goal was maybe to be more about themselves, indulge in these things of the world, or make their life more about looking like a shining star in the world. And it wasn't about harnessing high vibe Aquarius, Pisces, and Virgo, where it's growing and healing and maturing yourself and looking at life from a higher perspective and having hope and faith and belief in yourself and willing to step outside of societal norms and not letting those things of the world keep manipulating you, even if that's just your fear and your insecurity and your pride and your ego or your more materialistic nature. And you had to work through all of that to let go of that old dream, but not give up on your dreams. Just realizing some of the people you'd been in relationship with or wanted to move forward with, they're not on the same page as you. So we have to deal with the truth of it. And that's what this Scorpio death card is holding a sword. I have to deal with the truth of the situation. If there's people I wanted to move forward with, that I loved, that I wanted to come together with in joy and celebration, but they're not moving forward with me in that way, I have to deal with the truth of it. I have to let go of that old dream. I have to still believe in myself and believe in my dreams. And I need to become independent of those people, know my worth and value, offer myself that cup of love. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the King of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles is Virgo energy, which our Virgo nature is the aspect of ourself that kind of works through all of these issues in our life to get to the truth of it so we can free ourselves. Because there could have been some people, again, that were kind of hurtful and unkind. Shadowy Scorpio, people can be intimidating, controlling, narcissistic. All these shadowy things that people can do in our life to try to stop us. The death is about trying to stop things, trying to stop us from loving and believing in ourselves. And they wanted us to maybe give up on believing in ourselves and believing in our dreams, and they wanted us sad, and they wanted our foundation that was enlightened by love to be stuck. The devil tries to stop people from loving and believing in themselves and giving birth to new things. And we can have people in our world who don't like us to love and believe in ourselves, because then, if we were, well, they can just be jealous, envious, prideful, egotistical, think they should be able to control us or something. Like they write the story of our life, and it's like, you don't write the story of my life. I just see that you're a hurtful, unkind, unjust, unfair, emotionally shallow, maybe narcissist. And My foundation is going to work through this to get to the truth. Hangman is about being enlightened to the truth. And other people can do things. They can throw us under the bus and kick us to the curb, be hurtful, be unkind, all those things. And we can take it personally. Needless, it hurts. And we don't understand why people do that. But we put in this work and effort to be enlightened to the truth that, people are the way they are. Some people might try to present themselves as these emotionally stable, enlightened people that they're not that type of person, but they kind of wear a false mask. They present themselves as like these loving, nurturing family people in the world, like they harness high vibe Cancer energy. But the reason they didn't like you is because you really do harness all these traits and characteristics in a more high vibrational way. And they like to present themselves as being that type of person. But you could have been enlightened to the truth that that wasn't who they were. That was just a false mask that they wore. And you could have ended wanting to move forward in a relationship with them because you felt like you were missing an opportunity in love, because their dream and how they wanted the relationship to move forward was being in a relationship, maybe more for the money and the status and the image, where people operate from their ego and wear a false mask, and they make their life either indulging these people in their ego, or their intimidating ways, or their unhealthy or abusive ways, or egotistical ways. And it's like, I'm not going to stay stuck in a workplace or a friendship or a relationship with you. I'm going to offer my self-love to my own shadow nature to deal with my own fears and insecurities about why I would keep moving forward with you in a relationship. And I'm going to free myself. I am going to be inspired to get to the truth. I'm going to balance out my strong emotions and my fears and insecurities about people who I thought would make good decisions in a workplace or a relationship or a family dynamic. And I'm going to listen to my intuition. These people aren't loving. These people aren't just and fair. They're not acting with character and integrity. They're more about wanting to be indulged, or all about indulging in these things of the world. And I'm going to do the work within myself emotionally to get balance within myself and to love myself. And I'm going to give birth to moving forward and away from them, inspired by truth and love, because I've seen that these people are not inspired by truth and love. Some of the people in your life, of course, not everybody. And some of the people, there's some people in the world that they just want to be in relationship with the person who seems to really be like victorious and successful in the world. And maybe when some of those people were in a relationship with you, they didn't know if they would have all the status or the image or the money or the attention, or in a clique group or something, So they could have went to go get in a relationship with someone who they thought kind of had those things that they wanted. In the meantime, you transformed your whole life. And now you're moving forward very stable, enlightened, and loving. You've overcome your fears and insecurities. You're moving forward in life very victoriously. And now some of those people feel stuck in what they went to go invest in, because they weren't getting into the things that they were getting into out of love. It was more out of lust or greed or pride or ego or fear or codependency or something. And now I think some of those people are wishing they could move forward with you. But you've already been enlightened to the truth of who they are. And you've probably already communicated to them in the Knight of Wands that I'm moving on. I've already balanced out my emotions about all of these things that happened. And also, some of those people are mad, because sometimes people can be shadowy in your life, hoping you'll run your life off into the ditch. Then by default, they look like they're the more emotionally stable, grounded, loving person. even though they were the person who is hurtful and unkind. Well, I'm hoping if I'm hurtful and unkind and you drive your life off into the ditch and we had been in a relationship or something, that it automatically makes them look like they're this more stable, grown, and mature person than they really are. They tried to steal from you. And when you kept loving and believing in yourself and seeing the truth and not letting shadowy people run your life off into the ditch, I don't even view you as a loving person anymore. I don't view you as a just and fair person anymore. I don't view you as someone who motivates me and inspires me to want to be in a relationship with you anymore. I'm certainly not going to let someone who has shown me that they're selfish or bossy or controlling or abusive or egotistical, I'm not going to let someone like that drive my life off into the ditch. I'm just going to let go of you. And I'm going to keep moving forward. And then some of those people who could have acted in these unkind, unjust, unfair ways, hoping you would drive your life off into the ditch, now it didn't work out the way they wanted. Some of them wanted you to give up believing in yourself and believing in your dreams and do the relationship the way they wanted you to do it. You quit loving yourself. You quit being balanced within yourself. I don't like that. I like you to be in more codependent energy. I like you stuck. I like you in your fear, your insecurity. Then I'll be in a relationship with you again. And they could have thought that if they did these hurtful, unkind things, that, you'd feel stuck, you'd be sad, you'd be in your ego, you'd be in your competitive energy, that you'd come back and get in a relationship with them and do it the way they want. But it didn't work out that way. You work through it, and it's like, these people aren't just, they aren't fair, they're not loving, they're not kind, they're not respectful, they don't act with character and integrity. I'm going to have a new beginning. And I'm going to work through my mental conflict and give myself the things I wish they would have given me. And I'm going to move on. And I'm going to go find the people in the world that don't act like that. And you probably learned a lot of valuable lessons from somebody like this. That, wow, some people wear a really good false mask. And I really kind of, and there too, I think when we can get in relationships, we didn't initially listen to our intuition. And our intuition was given to us as a gift. And our intuition could have been screaming at us back then, do not move forward in this relationship, but we did anyway. And we got lessons to learn about listening to our intuition and loving ourselves and believing in ourselves and knowing our worth and value. And now that the whole situation transformed your whole life and how you feel about yourself. And, it forced you to have to love yourself. It forced you to look at life differently and just see the truth that some people aren't very just and fair and loving. Some people are looking to prey on people, to manipulate them and control them for their own selfish reasons that aren't love. You've been enlightened about the devil and shadowy people in the world. And so now you also know that not everyone's like that in the world. But before, you could have been more gullible and you thought, oh, if you get in a relationship with people, everybody wants to do love. No. Probably 50% of the people in the world don't want to do love. You get hurt doing love. Some people just want to indulge themselves in a relationship. For as long as you are willing to indulge them, not requiring people. Love is supposed to be just and fair. People are supposed to act with character and integrity. People are supposed to have deep, meaningful, loving relationships. And, that if people are being superficial, shallow, immature, seem to operate more from pride and ego, wearing a false mask, you've learned to listen to your intuition about all those things. So, what's coming up for some people who harness some high vibe Sagittarius energy that they might not see coming up? And as you're moving forward in this energy, there could be other people that want to be in a relationship with you. And you will listen to your intuition about those people because you know that some people just want to be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not indulging people. I can move forward with people, offer people a cup of love, treat people the way I like to be treated. The Pentacles and, getting to know people. And the whole point is to get enlightened to the truth of who they are. Are they authentically motivated and inspired by love, or is that just a false mask they wear? And I'll get to know people, and maybe until I am enlightened to the truth, the cup is like just giving someone, treating other people the way you like to be treated, but I won't make a more bigger gesture in the King of Cups to someone until I'm enlightened to the truth of who they are and what drives and motivates them. And if I see that we're on the same page and we're kind of motivated and inspired by the same things, and the devil can represent that you're attracted to someone, but you're not going to, I think, out of the lessons you've learned and love for yourself, you're going to temper your more Sagittarius energy that could kind of want to be more impulsive. And what do you not see coming? The Knight of Wands. Why? Because of the Two of Cups. You're inspired by love, not as much by ego and image and lust and greed, which, we all could have been at different times in our life. But because of these hard lessons that you've learned, you really had some difficult life situations that you had to deal with, and you freed yourself from the devil. People who tried to get you to align with your more, maybe, being willing to stay in relationships with people that weren't loving. And you freed yourself from that. And you're really inspired by love now. This does take time. The Scorpio card talks about our deep emotional connections that we have with people. And, it's emotionally confusing. But as you do this work within yourself to love yourself and deal with the truth of the situation of how people are acting and how people are not acting, the actions people are taking and the actions people aren't taking, it helps you get clear about it. Who's acting with truth and love and character and integrity? Who's being immature and prideful and stubborn and unloving? Who's being egotistical, manipulative, toxic, and who's not? And I think High Vibe Sagittarius is like willing to go on this adventure. Life's an adventure. Life is all about learning these different lessons. I learned some very difficult lessons in my life, but I didn't give up on my dreams. I just gave up on certain people. And I still believe that love is the answer. And I'm still going to love myself. I'm still going to treat other people with love and believe in love and try to inspire other people to love themselves. But the only people I'm going to invest more into are people who are also inspired by love. And I think as you keep moving forward in that way, there will be other people who will be inspired by you and want to be in a relationship with you. What's coming up for people who harness a more shadowy, worldly Sagittarius energy that they don't see coming? The King of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Why? Because of the Tower card. When people kind of act in these kind of manipulative ways in relationships, there's going to be some high vibe people in their life that do know their worth and value. For a long time in the Two of Swords, we can kind of want to stay in denial of the truth. Whether they're family members, friends, whoever. For a long time, we kind of stay stuck in a relationship because we don't want to kind of see the truth, because we can love them. We want it to move forward the way we want it to move forward with. But eventually, with the Tower card, we can't stay in denial of the truth anymore, because the other people just keep doing things that show that they're more about themselves, they're immature, they have these shadowy ways of being that And eventually people can't deny the truth anymore. And, you know, they listen to their intuition. And their intuition tells them this is not a safe and stable long-term foundation. You need to leave. And so then people do leave, and I'm not going to move forward with those people anymore. And I'm going to do this work within myself, put life in perspective, look at life from the big picture. I'm probably going to live 80 years. Do I need to get in a new relationship today, next week, next year? No. I have all these things that I can work on and work through because I don't want to repeat that pattern again. And I need to figure out what within me kind of made me stay in it for as long as I did and was attracted to them to begin with. And to know my own worth and value and love myself and believe in myself and deal with my own fears and insecurities and my own immature or impulsive nature or codependent nature. And I need to work through all of those things so that I'm making better decisions in my life. So I'm not deceiving myself, getting caught up in my head or my fears, letting other people get me caught up in my head or my fears. I need to love myself, and I need to move forward being more motivated and inspired in the decisions I make, to make decisions more out of love for myself and hope and faith and belief in my dreams, and not give up my dreams to indulge other people in a relationship that maybe isn't aligned with my truth to begin with. But I maybe didn't realize that. And we come into contact with all these different people to help us get clear about our truth. And now you've been enlightened to the truth. We can love people. We can have friends, family members, all sorts of people, and people we know in the world. We can have love for people. I don't want to be in a more involved relationship for you. You know, just like some of your siblings, you know. I can love you, but yeah, I'm not hanging out with you. I'll see you at Thanksgiving or Christmas. You know, the way you live your life is different than how I live my life. The way you act, I don't appreciate. So I keep my distance. I can love people and not be in relationship with them. And then another thing that the more worldly, shadowy people don't see coming is because they're unwilling to see the truth. And, you know, in order to heal and grow and mature yourself, you have to be willing to get out of your ego. The truth sets us free. And some people don't want to see the truth of the foundation that they operate from. They could harness these energies in a more shadowy way, that they are more about ego and image, and they are more about themselves, and that maybe they gave up on their dreams of love a long time ago and haven't learned to love themselves. So their foundation makes their life more about being defensive, being in their ego, but because they want to indulge themselves in a relationship and have these things that other people have in the world, they just wear a false mask. And they're probably going to end up in relationships with people who are willing to be in a relationship with them because they also don't want to see the truth, maybe of the foundation that they operate from. And maybe in their shadowy Capricorn energy is how I view the King of Pentacles versus high vibe King of Pentacles Capricorn energy. There's going to be other people that align, that love their more worldly nature and view of life, who are going to want to be in a relationship with them, who don't believe in love. Maybe think love is a fairy tale and an illusion. Life is about the world, and the world says this is what's important. That's what we're going to make our life about. And other people believe in love, but they just might not. And so they might get in a relationship with someone who just views life the same way they do. And it's just not a very stable, balanced, loving relationship, because everybody's wearing a false mask and operating more from pride and ego and more motivated and inspired for the ego and the image and the status or the money of it, or the indulgence of whatever they indulge in. So there you go, Sagittarius energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.